Well, pull up the chair, folks. I can see two viewers in the house. Mario Morris here, and we're just going to allow a few people to arrive and give this a little bit of time. So it is now 7 o'clock. I am live on YouTube, and we're just going to give people time to pull up and put up a chair. Hello, Tom. Welcome to the show. We're just giving people a moment or two to rock up and say hello. Hello, Veronica. And like I say, we are going live very shortly. Oh, correction. I am live. We do have some words of thoughts and a couple of things that I'm going to be sharing. But like I say, going to let people arrive. Just before we crack on, this happened last week. I got closed the dreaded door. Hello, Tom. Thank you for that. And we have a third person in the house. We have a few viewers. We're just allowing people to arrive and giving people a moment of time to join us live here on Pull Up a Chair with Mario Morris. And this week's theme is the Cabinet of Curiosity. What's inside the box? This is going to be my guest speaker, if you like, or rather, my guest. And yeah, so very shortly, we're going to be going into the Cabinet of Curiosity. One of the things I'm going to do, and it's a regular thing as we do this, I'm going to light our candle and literally like to create magic around fire. And this is going to be a feature that will be joining us in our sessions together. And I'm just going to sort of highlight next week. I got a special VIP, a guest who's going to be joining us, and he's a lovely man. I've known him for many years, and that's going to be Bruce. Bruce Lish is going to be joining us next week in our live, and he's a magician, a good friend, and he's recently visited us here in England, and we've had a very interesting journey visiting things like Stonehenge, and we also hosted the School of Busking, and we had Tom there as well, who's there. We've if you just arrived, just do say hello, let us know that you're here, and we're just going to go into the whole program. So it's for tonight's episode. And like I say, if you just arrived, I can see you arriving. Hello, hello, hello. Do let us know that you're here, and let us know, if you would, where are you from? What part of the world are you tuning in from? Let us know. Come in and say hello. Put up a chair with Mario Morris, and tonight's is the second episode, and we have the Cabinet of Curiosity. I know some of you were you met the world's most intelligent wooden duck last week. Today we have something somewhat different, but yet I'm sure you'll never forget it. Tomorrow morning you'll wake up wondering, and tomorrow morning you'll remember. Welcome, welcome, people. Like I say, I'd like to hear a few people. We've got quite a number of people now viewing in, and you're being a little bit shy and not saying hello. Or if you just arrived, do grab yourself a cup of tea, perhaps, if you haven't got one already, and we'll start this show rolling. So here we go. My name is Mario Morris, and welcome to tonight's focus. And here is a focus on magic, wonder, the Cabinet of Curiosity, what's inside the box, if you like. And we will be finding out. Here, we're going to be exploring with me. So this is a greater part of what we're going to be doing. And tonight, as we put up a chair together, we're going to be reshaping and hopefully leave here this evening with a renewed sense of wonder. So I'm going to draw a page from my own book. The book that I've been creating is a project and it's on Patreon, and it's called the Street Performers Grimoire. And from that is the focus on curiosity, wonder. Now, this is one of those skills that street performers, magicians alike. If you're seasoned, is one of those things that you're able to generate and create, or at the very least be able to, creating a sense of wonder and curiosity. So that's a question I have out there for you. A seasoned magician, and like I say, creating curiosity, sparking, if you like, the imagination. What gets you going? What gets you thinking? And if you can create that sense of wonder in the people who are watching our shows, who are passing by, or literally get them to ask, what are you doing? If you can generate that interest in the people who are there, you're already on the right track. And sometimes when I'm doing my street show, I'll get that. I'll get the young kid. I say, oh, mister, what are you doing? The last thing I want to do is answer that question directly. But it's very much more of, stick around, in a moment you're going to see. But it does tell me this, that I am on the right path. I'm creating that sense of wonder already. And this is a great advantage that magicians, with their small shows, that everything can fit inside in a case, can create and lean heavily on wonder. For example, my cabinet of curiosity. What is inside the box? And later on, we're going to be bringing this out. I have the strangest thing you're going to see in there today. And for sure, you won't be forgetting it. Tomorrow morning, you'll wake up and go, that was good. My name is Mario Morris. You won't forget that name, and you won't forget this here item. Stick around. It's going to happen very shortly. But there you go. It's the background of a street performer. And that's one of the advantages we have, say, over a circus performer who's got an 8-foot unicycle. It's already there. It's already out of the box. The curiosity is already been satisfied. You kind of know what they're going to be doing, the grand finale. But what is inside the suitcase? What's he going to juggle, perhaps? And this is where we can start leaning on curiosity again. Is it going to be clubs? Is it going to be fire? Is it going to be chainsaws? But as a street performer, over the years, the art of curiosity, story, magic, creating and locking people in is an imperative, important part of what we do. There's a balance between curiosity, suspense, and wonder. If we can draw all those things around what we do, then that's half the battle. Regardless to what you're doing, whether you're performing magic or you're telling story, telling tale, creating that sense of curiosity, that suspense, and the delivery of wonder is a powerful tool available to all those who practice the arts, performing magic, storytelling, even sharing poetry, song and tale. This is our art form. So very shortly, what's inside that box? My guest, featured guest this week. And I thought it'd be really good for us tonight to explore magical words. So stepping outside of the box, if you like, exploring some magical words and the meaning behind them. And words are very, very powerful in themselves. Now I'm going to put this out there. And the first word is the word I have here for tonight is the word wonder. It's a word I use a lot, creating wonder, creating magic, creating experiences for people. But the word itself, wonder, comes from the Old English wonder. How do you pronounce that? Better to spell it. Wundor. And that's Old English. It would have been pronounced wonder. And basically it comes down to astonishing people, the miraculous, that which is unexplained. And the root of it is awe. In the face of the unknown, we create wonder, magic, and tales. Beautiful word. Another word which, again, I use quite often, and is to enchant. Latin, it's the enchanter. To sing, that is to sing, or to enchant with story, tale. The spoken word is now believed to be extremely powerful. It can actually have impact on people's lives. The spoken word, so story and tales, to enchant. And again, another word I use often, and it's the word wish. This is Old English yet again. To desire, long for, or to yearn. Yeah. And it's often the first step towards manifesting what we want to see happen. Now, there's an old, if you like, if you were to break this word down, WISH, it literally comes out as what is stated happens, to manifest, to create. And here's another word which is actually so misunderstood by so many. And I'm going to ask you a few questions right after this, just to provoke conversation, if you like, and thought around this. But it's the word occult. Occult. Latin occultus, meaning hidden, concealed, secret, not evil, but rather hidden knowledge. Hidden knowledge is this, and this is often related to that of the spirituality and mysticism and the ways of closed orders, as well as religious beliefs, the secrets of the unknown. So when we go into and unpack perhaps stories that matter to one, but it's exclusive to someone else, it becomes this secret kind of language almost. Another one, which is often gets his wires twisted with the occult, but it's the word esoteric. Esoteric, and this is a Greek word, esotericus, and it's knowledge intended for the few. And it's not necessarily associated to spirituality as such. This could be associated to knowledge which is intended for a few. So, for example, the school of busking, is that esoteric? Well, it's not knowledge available to, that makes sense to everybody. It's intended for a specific group of people with an interest in that particular discipline or practice. So it becomes that. It's not so much, but it's more of a practice. And it's not necessarily associated, often is associated to spirituality, but not necessarily there alone. And there's another word, and I've got three more, and if you're here, you just arrived, and do say hello. It'd be great to know who's here in the house. I can see quite a number of you watching as we're going live. And I'm here in Glastonbury and here live presenting this here broadcast. The next word is magic. Beautiful word. Strongly misunderstood. Has lots of different interpretations, and some of them, but in some ways, all kind of related. But it's a Greek word meaning makia. And in Spain, we literally would say magia. It's a magia más spectacular. Mira mia magia. Watch my magic. And like I say, it's a Greek word, or it could be the word deriving from or the background, the magi. And so you would have the which is often associated to the Persian wizards or the practitioners of magic, and they would be. But you also have that of stagecraft, illusions, sleight of hand magic, and another word, another spin on this word, and it's a word I find quite frustrating, and it's still staying with magic, but it's what Aleister Crowley brought in, and he added the word K to the word magic. So it literally spelt out as so literally would be magic with K added to the end. And he did that because he wanted to separate magic, i.e. stagecraft, from the practice of the esoteric magic, if you like. But I largely see it as a spelling mistake, to be honest, and but nonetheless, in more modern days, that word is quite commonly used. But in my mind, magic, in that sense, it's everywhere, and it could be in your craft, it could be in your story, it could be in your tales. It's how we use and what we do, what we deliver. So moving on, next word, wizard. Two more, wizard. And so again, if you're looking at the Persian wizards, or if you're looking at shamans, if you're looking at magicians, ceremonial magicians, you also have the word wizard. And again, the word wizard, this is it's Middle English, and would have been pronounced Wysad, Wysad, literally meaning a wise one, male or female, wise one. And this is before, so i.e. this would have been used before the idea of spells or literally those hidden meanings and or creating that sense of wonder. It would have been a wise one. Hello, Lorraine. Great to see you here, and thank you for joining us. And really, we're both very sorry that we missed you the other day, but it's going to happen. We'll meet up shortly. Great to have you here, Lorraine. Lovely. Thank you. And yes, so we're carrying on with this. You have the Middle English, literally that is someone who's an expert. So in that sense, if we were to expand on that in itself, the wizard is someone, for example, you have the computer whiz kid, someone who's an expert at what they do. So if you're an expert in a certain area or discipline, that's where wizardry, in one sense, could be used. So you have that sense. And the last word we're exploring on, and we'll explore, is abracadabra. What an amazing word, and often associated to, the Aladdin and the old tales and Open Sesame and all these. But abracadabra is a disputed word of its original origins, but it's largely accepted to be Aramaic, and literally it comes down to I create as I speak. I create as I speak. That's a magical order right there in itself. Now, all of these have, I have some questions for you. So just to recap the words I just used, and the first one is wonder and enchanting or enchant, wish, the meaning behind occult, that which is hidden, esoteric, magic, i.e., be it that of mystery, be it that of stagecraft and illusion, or be it that of literally creating wonder in the sense of spells and incantations. We also have the word wizard, the wise one, and lastly, abracadabra. Now, this list can go on, but I do have some questions for you, because normally what happens on these is that we do questions and answers, and I'm doing the answerings. So on this occasion, I thought it'd be really good, if you like, to turn that around and to ask you the question. Before we go there, though, I do have this box. Just a reminder, what's inside the box, folks? What's inside the box? The box of curiosity. And very shortly, I'm going to open this and share with you something I know you won't forget. So there, question number 1. Why was knowledge considered magical and words have power? So why was knowledge considered to be magical? I'm going to give you all these questions, and all 3 of them, and you can choose one of them if you wish, and just let me know your thoughts on it. Does language shape reality? Yeah. And the last question: are words the oldest form of magic? So like I say, these are open questions, and I'm just putting them out there. So why was knowledge considered to be so magical? So in other words, when we look at ancient cultures and cultures of past times, magic, words, was considered to be incredibly powerful. Does language shape our reality? And last, are words the oldest form of magic? What's your thoughts on that, folks? I'm aware there's a little bit of a time delay as well, so let me know how you're getting on with this experience in the background, and if my sound's clear, or if you have if we have any tech issues, but if you can jot a thought or two down in the comments, that'll be great. Or I could summarize. In fact, what I'm going to do right here and now is going to share with you another curious object I have with me right here. And this is my Las Vegas mug. Actually, it's full of tea. But why do I call this the curious mug, or the cup of curiosity, if you like? And it's just this little sideline, and like I say, and it's literally the first time I went to Las Vegas. I believe it was in 2010, and that would have been 16 years ago. And we went over there performing, and as well as performing and teaching as part of the Magic and Mystery School of Las Vegas. So I was working with Jeff McBride, and it was the first year that went on for a 10-year stretch. And for 10 years, I was going over there regularly teaching. And I didn't bring my street show with me. I didn't bring anything with me. So I literally turned up with a pack of cards in my suitcase, and that was it. And part of it was I literally went out to the hardware store and bought all the bits and pieces I needed to perform my street show. And I bought, I don't know what, I bought 3 coffee cups, because I do this routine called clap and cheer, cups and balls. And my first time I performed it with 3 identical Las Vegas cups, because why not? I'm in Vegas, and I thought I'll use these. And the idea of my cup and ball routine is at the end, I do this tablecloth pull, and hopefully, if all's well, all the cups are left remaining on the table, together with everything I produced from underneath them, which is largely jam jars and a coffee cup. and a jar of coffee. So this is the story behind this. And this cup is the last one remaining out of those 16 cups. There may be another one dotted around somewhere in Wales. But for sure, this is it's got one little chip right there, but it's really sentimental to me because this is my favorite coffee mug. So this is my cup of curiosity. Let's come back. I've got some great answers right here and great thoughts. So here we go. I think knowledge, and this is for Ron, I think knowledge was considered to be so magical and powerful because only... Let's see if I can show that. Yeah, I think magic was considered to be magical and powerful because only the... Okay, I need the rest of that, V. And... oh, I see. Oh, thank you. Because only the rich and the holy men can read and write and see, or the powerful. Or there's a lot of... so much truth in that. And here's the thing. Thank you for sharing that, V. And there's a lot of truth. And that could even be reflected in Christianity. There was a time where, when it came down to the Bible, that the only person who was allowed to read the Bible, and do correct me if I'm wrong, and for those who perhaps... I believe that would have been the Catholic Church. And it would have been... they didn't allow the congregation to read the text themselves. It was almost like forbidden. And there's the history of the Bible here in the UK that there's a big story behind the King James Bible. The way that was introduced in the UK was kind of but again, it was written to even own a Bible meant it was a reflection of great wealth, because literally, imagine printing and all the rest of it. So there's a lot of truth in that, Veronica. And Tom has reflected that as well. A lot of people, very few people could read or write. This is very true. But here's the other thing. It's the words themselves, the power of words, the spoken word. The words, if you were to bring that into the modern day. So I've got this other question. It's kind of like a summary to this chapter. And bear in mind, we do have the box of curiosity. What's inside the box? We'll get round to it. No, we're getting there. Is real magic... so this is more of a reflection. Is real magic the ability to change reality, or simply the ability to change the way we or someone else sees reality? When we consider these words, when we consider something like abracadabra meaning I create as I speak. If we consider the word wish, what is stated happens. If you have a project, consider, if you have a project, first you have to have that plan. If you're making, say, for example, a chair, you would draw it out, you would design it, and you would have your measurements in place. Then you would get all the materials, and there you would literally put it together, and it manifests itself into a physical form. I got something here from Tom, and I'm going to put that up there for us to view. Yeah. And the translation, this has gone back to what we were talking about. The translation of the Bible from Latin and Greek to English made it more accessible to the public. That is true. And the first copy of that, I believe, was the King James. And yeah, a lot of deaths happened around that as well. So there was a lot going on. But yeah, isn't it curious? Isn't it strange? Isn't it wonderful? The power of words. And here's one of those things that once we begin to realize the power of words, the power of the spoken message that we speak over ourselves, over others perhaps, or the words that are perhaps spoken over us, things we accept as our own truth, are really important, because words have that impact. They have a powerful impact on our lives. So consider that. And or I can't, or I won't. These perhaps are your reality, but when they become negative, or when we speak negativity and negatively over ourselves, that's where the limitations come into play. And it's a hard reality in my life. What do you think? Do you consider that to be true? Now, when I step into a new project, is one of those things that first most is needing to have sheer belief, like a sheer sense of determination to see this project manifest into reality. I have to believe it. And there's a lot of things to be said around that, i.e. when you share it with others, sometimes, because there are a number of projects that I've worked on, even in this particular year, where I had spent a considerable amount of effort working on a project. And at the end of it, I had to let it go. And I had to say, well, actually, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen this year. And sometimes that's the course, but it's one of those things that you keep on going until you find that gold. And that's it. And you work with what you know that you can see manifesting into place. Does that ring bells with people out there? What's your experiences? Well, to be fair, I think we're now at that time of what's inside the box of curiosity. Stranger, but true. I'm going to change the dynamics ever so slightly here with my manual zooming out skills. Look at that. And that allows you to see this tabletop. And inside this box right here, we have the strangest thing you'll see. Now, I will say, do add your thoughts. If you have anything come to mind, if you have any questions, this is the time to drop them in the comments. So do carry on. But I'm going to bring out the strangest thing you'll see. The strangest thing you'll see here today. This is none other. Oh, yes. Let's play. This is an animal trap. A very dangerous piece of kit indeed. I'm going to explain to you why. In fact, demonstrate why this is so dangerous. One animal trap. And spaghetti. I want you to imagine, if you would, that this spaghetti is not spaghetti, but it's the paw of a little rabbit. You can call him Fluffy if you like. A little rabbit, no bigger than my fist. Out in the woods, bright eyes, burning like a fire. Now, he's never seen one of these before. And innocently, he pops his paw into it. Ow, says the rabbit. Don't worry about the spaghetti, it's biodegradable. Then again, so's the rabbit. I'm going to do that again with a slight twist. This time, no. This time, we won't be using spaghetti. No, instead, we're using a pack of cards and my hand. Don't try and stop me. One pack of cards and an animal trap. Set, danger incarnate. Oh my. Now I want you to imagine that. Well, I'll show you. Each card is different. A bit like you and me, we're all different and quirky perhaps. But I am going to use one card right here, which has already been signed with a smiley face. Now, it doesn't matter if I see it. That's not the way this is going to work. You see, I'm going to take this here card and lose it, honestly, inside the deck. And give the cards a real cut. I'm going to give the cards a real good shuffle. So you know the card is lost inside the deck. Danger incarnate. We can give the cards a real good shuffle. Like I say, we'll give the cards a real good shuffle. Placing the cards into the animal trap needs to be applied with due care and attention at all times. And like I say, this... Oh, gee. Excuse me. I'll try that again. I'll go slower. Placing the cards into the animal trap. I will say this entire effect is my idea. The world's most dangerous card trick. Yeah. And the idea, folks, it seemed like a good idea at the time. The idea, folks, is to ripple for the cards very fast like that. Find the smiley face. The card identified with a smiley face upon it. Pluck it out of the deck before it snaps around my fingers. Do not try and stop me. Well, you can't, can you? Okay, folks, I'm going to... I will say this is a very good time, I believe, for me to actually mention what's going to happen next week. I've got a lovely friend, and his name is Bruce Lish. He literally was here for the School of Busking this year while on tour visiting amazing places like Stonehenge, and he came to Glastonbury and we had an amazing time. And he's going to be my guest. He's a, how can you say it? A wonderful man, great magician, and we're going to have some story and tales of that journey. And he's going to bring his own curious object onto the show next week. So that'll be here at 7 p.m. GMT time. And at the end of the month, we're going to be having a group gathering where we're going to be literally all having a face-to-face time. And you're welcome to come to that. That's me putting off the this very here sideshow stunt, if you like. Right, no further ado. The world's most dangerous card trick. Dun 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 dun. I provide all my own music now, and this lends me to one more thing. One more thing, and that is going back to what we started off with, and that's the journey of curiosity. And this is a demonstration of what we talked about right at the beginning. Curiosity is a skill of attracting an audience and pulling people in. And here I have is the cabinet of curiosity. You never know what's going to be within it. And the next show, we don't know yet what Bruce will be bringing into the show and his curious object, but it'll be there. And here we have it. So we have curiosity. Next, suspense, as we talked right about. And here we have it. Suspense, living suspense. And hopefully, the finale, if you remember. 3, 2, 1. The world's most dangerous card trick. Folks, I'm going to get you to zoom back in. And yeah, there we have it. And the last word is curiosity, suspense, and it brings us back to the word wonder. Folks, you've been brilliant. My name is Mario Morris, and thank you for joining me tonight. And been wonderful. And I'll speak to you all soon, folks. If you've got any questions, any thoughts, and please do, yes, follow this and come in next week, and we'll speak to you all very soon. And do visit our Patreon project, which is where one way you can support this channel and get behind the project, and that is the Magic Wizardry Project. My name is Mario Morris, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye bye, folks.